Hello, I'm Jake Bugg, and these are Records of My Life.
Tell me where the fight is. Tell me where the high is. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Tell me where the fight is. Tell me where the high is.
How are things going these days? Where are you cloistered?
Yeah, strange times for all round, isn't it? Really, I'm just at home and just been writing a lot, pretty much every day, just to pass the time, really. So yeah, just at home in London.
Cool,
Yeah.
cool. So, I mean, spending all this time being cloistered, what? Give us a couple of new albums before we talk about your new record. Give us a couple of albums that you've discovered. I should say your forthcoming release, but give us a couple of new discoveries for you
Oh,
since
what
you've.
sort of music I've been listening to? Oh, it's funny. I've been working on a documentary for a Brazilian soccer player called Ronaldinho. So, I was trying to listen to, some more samba and things like that. And there's I think a very famous artist called João Gilberto, I think. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, to be honest, but he's got some great records from the 60s and the 70s. And it's just beautiful, really lovely samba, bossa nova kind of music. And so I've been listening to that and loving that. And a lot of Vangelis as well. I'm a big Vangelis fan, so that's I'm always checking out all his records, his new ones and everything. So they've kept me going.
Fantastic. So give us a set. I mean, those are both, you're doing the soundtrack and Vangelis, obviously. He's done a lot of soundtracks. Do you have a favorite in your repertoire? What is your favorite soundtrack?
My favourite soundtrack is probably a Vangelis one, to be honest. I'd probably have to go for, Blade Runner. But the only reason I say that is because I know it's a very famous movie and soundtrack, but I've always been a Vangelis fan, and I watched the movie and I wondered why I liked the music so much. I actually had no idea he did the soundtrack for it until I was watching the film. So it kind of had even, more of a surprised impact on me because I just wasn't expecting it.
So tell us about you. You recently released a new single, "All I Need," and it's kind of an uplifting, motivational song. Can you give us a bit about the inspiration behind it?
Yeah, well, I think when I went into the studio, something I wanted to create something that had a lot of energy and a good tempo to it, and a feel-good factor as well. And I feel like a lot of songs I've written in the past, can be a little bit, on the sadder side or whatever. So yeah, I just went into the studio with intentions of creating something a little more upbeat, and I feel like in this time more than any, I think it's a song that kind of helps you feel a little bit better. I like to think.
And the video, were you
And the
involved
video,
in?
yeah, the video was fun. So somebody mentioned to me earlier that they'd never seen me dance before, and
Yes.
I hadn't either. So that was my introduction, and I hope to think there'll be no more of that to come. But I was very happy with the video.
Really, I was going to ask you if there'll be more dancing when we see you live again soon. Will there be more? You'll be doing a bit of dancing for your
Oh no,
fans.
live, absolutely not. No one wants to see that. Definitely not.
Are you right now? So you're presently writing a new record aside from the soundtrack, or on a personal thing. You're writing as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I like to always write when I can, and I'm probably at the stage where the album's pretty much almost there. I've written probably over 30 tracks for this record, and and so it's just I just want it to be the best it can be, really. So if anything, it's finding the songs that do you put all the songs in there or trying to choose the best ones? It's a good problem to have, though. So yeah, I'm
Sure,
pretty much
sure.
there with the record.
Can you give us any small? I know the record companies or yourself. Can you give us any small details about or any secrets about your album that's coming that will assuage your fans?
Oh well, I guess there's not too many secrets. Maybe there's still some, there's some collaborations I could come up with in the meantime before it's released, and we'll see what happens. But to be honest, this album is just kind of something I wanted to achieve with my music, was to try and just bring it into a more modern time in terms of the production and things like that. So I think the surprise will probably be in the production, but my DNA and my and who I am is very much still in there for sure.
Terrific. Let's go back to your youth. You're still a young man. What was that album when you heard that made you want to pick up a guitar as a child, that right away caught your ear?
When I remember. I think it was one of the first very records that I loved, and it was probably Jimi Hendrix, Boulder's Love. I adored that album, and it's a funny feeling when you hear Jimi Hendrix when you just started playing the guitar, because you're very inspired and yet very disheartened at the same time, because you're never going to be able to play like that, but it's also so exciting at the same time, and that was something that really inspired me to play the guitar, and been in love with it ever since.
Give us a guitarist from the last maybe 20 years record.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, John Squire from the Stone Roses is a phenomenal guitar player. I think he don't get enough credit as he should, really. And really ties a lot of of that band sound together with the sounds and the riffs and things like that. So yeah, I'd say he's an amazing guitarist.
I'm going to put you on the spot, another test here if you can remember, but you work with Rick Rubin on Shangri-La, and he's produced, like all the Beastie Boys and Johnny Cash and Tom Petty, so many great artists like Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite record aside from your own that Rick Rubin has his fingerprints on?
I'm a big Beastie Boys fan, so I'm gonna have to go with the Beastie Boys, the record. I think the first one, which was I don't know, it's just an amazing sound, isn't it? It's like a proper cross and hip hop blended together, and it was totally their own thing. And to be honest, I'm always a big fan of, even if I don't like the music, which in this case I very much do, but if it's different and it's something that's unique to itself, then I'm a big fan, no matter what the sound.
You recently got hired as a job teaching school children music, a la School of Rock. Now, which record do you send them home with after the first day of school?
Sorry, what was that?
You've recently been hired as a music teacher for school children, and
I don't think anybody's hiring me as a music teacher.
Yeah, they are. They are, though.
Is this hypothetical, is it? Sorry.
Yeah. No.
I was going to say that I can't even read music.
but you can teach the emotion of it. You don't have to read it. But anyway, so the School of Rock film with Jack Black. Yeah. So you have to send them home with one record to inspire them. It's got to be like you inspire them culturally and musically, and the factor of credibility all in there.
Yeah. It's a tough one because, you kind of want someone with a lot of energy and a kind of raw sound, don't you? That's just I'd say like a good thing that everybody seems to love, even if in this day and age, if it comes on the radio, everybody likes it. And the Kinks, I think, still, are very, made some great records. And I think, any of those kind of 60s records, kind of Kinks, send them home with one of those. I think you put it on now, like people know the song still, and it's just still a strong, great sound, I think.
Do you have a favorite Bob Dylan record?
Bob Dylan, my favorite Bob Dylan record is I don't like as many records as people probably think I do, but one of my favorites is the Times Are A-Changin album. I love that record. It's a brilliant album, and is it North Country Blues or whatever's off that record, or I can't remember them all, but what a great, raw sounding record. Mostly him and his guitar and a brilliant sound.
Jake, thanks again for being on Records of My Life. This show's all about you and the albums that you love and inspire you. I really appreciate your time. couple more quick questions, and we'll let you enjoy your evening, because I know it's 6. Is it 6:30 there or something, or
6 o'clock, yeah.
6 o'clock?
It's all right.
So
I can have a beer now.
yeah, it's after 6, right?
Yeah.
I'm a 5 o'clock. I'm a 5 o'clock guy, but I'm older, so that's okay.
Absolutely nothing wrong with that either.
On the weekends is a different story.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, on a Sunday, it's midday, isn't it?
Weed, wine, or water to write or listen to your favorite record?
Ooh, well, it all depends, isn't it? Because if it's Bob Marley, then it's an old, it's an old wraparound. But if it's a bit of Leonard Cohen, then it's a glass of wine and a cigarette, surely, isn't it? So, I'd say we'll go for the green, I think.
That's fantastic. And what about to write?
So right,
Your personal rating.
Oh yeah, the green. I mean, you can write whilst you smoke. However, writing when you're drinking is okay in the first couple, but then you've got to really just stop.
Yeah.
I like to have a few drinks when I'm doing vocals or if I'm like playing live or something. But for writing, definitely more of a smoke guy for sure.
A glass of wine or cup of coffee with an artist alive or dead?
Oh mate, it's gotta be a glass of wine with Leonard Cohen, hasn't it? Like, I mean, like just the amount of them. I'm not gonna have a cup of coffee with a guy. Oh yeah, so like yeah. So yeah, I'd choose Leonard Cohen and a glass of wine. I bet he'd have some brilliant words to say.
And what would you consider the record of your generation? Going back to high school, what's the record you think of right away?
I mean, it's a tough one because I didn't listen to a lot of music that most of my generation did. I'm trying to think who was big at the time. I mean, actually, do you know what? One of those records that I did, like, Green Day's American Idiot was a huge album at the time when I was about 13, 14, and going through that teenage stage, it was something a lot of my friends listened to, and it was a huge album at the time. It had a lot of success, didn't it? So yeah, I'd go for American Idiot, Green Day.
Finally, thanks again for being on the show. We'd like to ask all our guests for words of wisdom for their fans and our audience.
Okay. What you want me to say?
You're wise beyond your years just listening to your you're listening to talking about Leonard Cohen and that. It's
I don't think anyone's ever took my advice for much. One thing that one thing that I'd like to say, and it's helped me over the years, is as an old local DJ from where I was from growing up, and he told me very early on that for every 2 steps forward there's a step back, and it's true. Sometimes you feel things are going your way, and some days are better than others, and every time you feel that it's not and you take a step back, just know that if you keep going, you'll take those 2 forward again. And it's something that applies to me. Things won't always go your way, but you just got to keep going, and eventually they will.
That's really great advice. Thank you. Best of luck with the new album and things to come, and hope to see you on the stage again soon.
Thank you, mate. It was a real pleasure. Nice talking to you.
Thank you. You too. Have a good evening.
Cheers, mate. You too.
Bye-bye. Take care.
All right, see you later.
Hi, I'm Mark Henning, the other half of Records in My Life. Love it that you made it to the end of the video. Please leave us a comment, leave us a thumbs up, and subscribe. If you really dug the show, we'd love it if you'd consider supporting us over at patreon.com/RIMLTV. Cheers and see you next week.